Hello everybody, welcome back to the Limit of Adhesion Season 2. My name is Gareth, and joining me as always in the commentary box is Jim. Jim, how are you?
I am very well. Hello Gareth, hello everybody. How are you?
Yeah, great, thanks mate. So this is round 6 of the season and we are at Oulton Park up in Cheshire, I believe the track is. And just a reminder that you can find us at limitofadhesion.com for all of your news, reviews, where we host the videos and talk about the races. Let's take a look at the driver.
There as well at the moment.
Yeah, quite a few. Let's look at the Drivers' Championship then, after round 5, with Robert Miller taking the lead of the championship from Gavin Kelly. David Lyne currently in 3rd place and not far behind Gavin. James Garlick, Mark Tranter, Winslade, Batty and Bibby are the next positions. Further down we've got Jim Kimberley making a tremendous return at Suzuka and getting straight off the bottom of the championship. Jim, why don't you take us through the teams?
Yeah, Jim Kimberley's still got a while to catch up on old Rob Miller, hasn't he? Well, you can see on the team's championship there that Stupid Aguri, despite Miller's dominance, is first place at the moment with 108 points, but Little Large not too far behind. Lyne is spearheading the Keith Chegwin Memorial team, 75 points, but Williams are right on their heels, and it's a really big battle for 5th place with Dirty Legends and Verge of Grip. Lucky Bibs are in 7th, and Alpha Blobby have made their entry in 8th. And speaking of Alpha Blobby, you can find out more about Alpha Blobby, the return of Blobby to Limit of Adhesion and the return of Kimberley on the Limit of Adhesion website, where you can have a little look this week. We're not having a race this week, so you, dear viewer, can have a little look on the website, and right at the top where you can see the mouse right now, there's a viewer survey. This is a 5-question survey, and we love making Limit of Adhesion and we love making the videos for you, but what we want to know is, what do you want? We want to make sure these videos are the best they can be. So there's about a 1-minute survey, just 5 quick questions, and you can have your input on the future of Limit of Adhesion for just this season and next season. But anyway, enough of the stuff on surveys, let's have a look at the circuit. We're in Cheshire this week at a site where F1 legends like Sterling Moss and Jack Brabham have raced. Oulton Park starts with 3 long corners that can be tricky to get right, but the island bend is perhaps the most dangerous early on, as it's possible to take flat out later, but not on cold tyres. This configuration has 2 chicanes breaking up the back straight, with Hislop's a possible overtaking spot with its downhill approach. After a long trip through the woods, the cars escape into the late apex Lodge corner, which could be the site of some opportunistic late braking before the start-finish straight.
Thanks Jim, we're just coming to the end of qualifying now, and we are going to take a look at the grid with Jim.
Well, it's 6 out of 6 front row starts for Lyne, who takes pole position this week for 151.3, over half a second clear of Kelly in P2. Championship leader Miller maintains his top 3 quali runs in 3rd, with Winslade enjoying his best quali of the season in P4. Garlick's Williams is P5, with last week's winner Tranter alongside for his 5th row 3 start of the season. Burnett races for the 3rd time and for the 3rd time qualifies in 7th. Kimberley is 8th for the debut run of the Alpha Blobby livery. Richard starts P9 for the 2nd week in a row and has the KCMT of Jones for company in 10th. Aaron Jenkins is on row 6 for the 5th consecutive week, but is all alone as we are racing without either of the Lucky Bibs drivers, Hankin, Dixon or Batty. Interesting to note that the Stupid Aguri driver hasn't returned since hitting his teammate at the Nürburgring.
Thanks Jim. It's a small grid this week, so one person is going to be missing out on points. We're about to find out who that is going to be. So here's the cars then lining up on the grid. Lyne on pole once again in the Keith Chegwin purple car at the front there. Lights gone red. Getting ready to race now at Oulton Park. And here we go, we are racing. That's a good start from Lyne. Kelly tucking in behind him. Let's see what happens then. Is Kelly looking to the outside? No chance there. Lyne, look at that. Winslade was looking to the inside of Miller, but nothing happening. And there's Tranter. Mark Tranter then. From, where was he? 6th on the grid and flying off the line. And he is now challenging Miller into the 2nd corner.
6th place to 3rd place for Tranter already. That's really impressive. Although Miller's fought back and we'll have the inside line. There's some really...
just behind us.
Yeah, there's lots of overtaking everywhere.
Yeah. Burnett has forced his way past Winslade as well, so a cautious start from Dirty Winslade as they come up to the Shell Oils hairpin for the first time. Kelly now in the lead from Lyne.
You're quite right as well, and I'm not too surprised that Winslade's been cautious, because cold tyres on those first few corners in this track is lethal.
Absolutely, yeah. Into the first chicane for the first time, and now on the run on Hilltop towards the Hislop chicane.
What a great
So
shot
Kelly
that
from
was.
line. Sorry, Jim.
Yeah, it's just
Look
what
at
a
that.
great shot that was. We've got Burnett there going on the inside. Oh, and
Into
Burnett's
his
hit Trent.
teammate.
Yeah, good shout. Yeah, that's not how teammates are meant to overtake. It's from the Stephen Batty school, I think.
And he's just taken out Richards as well. That's really poor. What a shame to see there for Richards, just minding his own business, coming out the chicane there. That's a big shame. So Line now looks well, he was back in the lead, but Kelly's just taken it again. And they're on the run now to that lodge corner you mentioned on the preview circuit guide.
Yeah, tricky corner with the late apex, and we've got some attacker there by Winslade on Tranter. That's a terrific overtake.
Yeah, that's tidy, that, and that's Winslade back up to 4th place where he started then. So, a frenetic first lap then. Kelly, Line, Miller is the top 3. Tranter attacking Winslade into T1. Nothing happening there. Miller, that's Tranter running quite wide on the exit there as well.
Well, we'll see if Winslade's a bit more confident in his tyres. He said he was, quite rightly, was a bit too cautious on that opening lap. But yeah, back into 4th place, overtaking Tranter. And it's these corners where you can try and go flat out, but it might be a bit too early to. We'll see how they go. We've no on board to know what it's like. But
I think I just saw a spinner in the back there. I think that might have been the ledge, so we'll have to get a replay, see what happened there. You see Gary Jones showing as being a lap down, so I wonder if he's gone into the pits for some damage as well. Lots of looks like it had lots of carnage and intrigue going on back there at the lower end of the field. But
you
back
say
at
about
the front,
the damage. Yeah, you say about the damage, and we're just approaching the second of the 2 hairpins, and these tyres, which look like they might just be sitting there, they can absolutely rip the wheels off these cars. We've been an open wheel series, so I just wonder if anybody's had a bit of damage from any of that.
Yeah, good point, Jim, because we've seen quite a few skippies missing wheels after practice around this track. So here we are coming up to the very fast Druids corner. This is a real trick on cold tyres.
Lovely corner though, isn't it? Absolutely terrific. Tests the ability of the drivers.
That's brilliant. And you could hear Tranter's engine just screaming in 3rd gear as he came through there.
A lock up from Winslade ahead, that might allow Tranter to get the run on him onto the start-finish straight.
Yeah. That's another, as you say, once again the cold tyres just completely missed the apex. So here's our leaders again then. Fastest lap from David Line, but it's Kelly out in front. Miller in 3rd still. And then we've got Winslade, Tranter, and then Garlick behind. He's a couple of seconds back from this front lot. Let's hope he can get in the fight soon.
Winslade's looking on for his first podium. He's just watching that battle. He's got a couple of seconds just to make up, or 1.5 seconds or so ahead of this front 3.
Yeah, good point. I mean, it's an interesting stat that Winslade's one of the few drivers that has competed in every race we've had so far in the LOA and no podiums.
The Hulkenberg of LOA.
The Hulkenberg of LOA. So let's see if he can break his duck today.
I have to say, just watching the leaders line through there, it's so brave. Tyres are warming up now, so it's less impactful. His line might have a run into the second hairpin. No, not this time. But yeah, they're really not much between. You see there, not much between them and those tyres. So if you are feeling like you've got control of the car, you can run really close to them. But you go too close, and yeah, it could be race ending.
Yeah, there's a big braking zone into his slot, so it is doable to do an overtake in there, like you say, but you've got to be committed, and the other car has to know you're coming. So it'll be a bit of an airplane crash, I would say. But on the run to Lodge Corner then, this is definitely an overtaking spot, and that's Line looking to the inside of Kelly. Look at his car squirming around as he's fighting it.
Kelly gives him a lot of room as well.
Yeah, he scared Kelly off the track there, I think. But
I'd be scared if I had that face on the nose behind me as well, wouldn't you?
yeah, absolutely. So Kelly somehow manages to survive the assault and retains his first place.
Let's let Winslade catch up a little bit now. He's just within a second of Miller. So the top 5 now, which we've been having a top 4 a lot, we've got a top 5 battle going on now, trying to just skid him wide as they all do. And yeah, going all one by one now, which is great to see.
Yeah. And up to the... Oh, that's Winslade dropping it then. Oh, what a shame.
He avoids the barrier though, that'll be crucial.
Keeps it out the wall, like you say. And that's the Alpha Blobby of Kimberley coming through. Nice to see the unveiling of his new livery.
Well, speaking of which, now got a new leader. Speaking of which, with great liveries, we've got a new leader. The line's made his way past Kelly with all the chaos going on behind. It's line in first place, taking back first place.
Wow, that's an impressive move by Line there to get through. Now, I know Line's been worrying about his racecraft over the last few races, and it's starting to feel like he might be a little too passive compared to, well, say someone like Tranter, for example. He's very good at the fast laps, but maybe not. He's missing a little bit with the close battling. So I know that he's looking to do something about that in the next few weeks.
Well, it's the worst places to start a race in the front row, and that's exactly where Line has been at every single one of the 6 we've been at so far. But yeah, he's from converting those front rows. He's only got 1 win and 2. We've got one win, no second places, and 1 third place thus far. So yeah, he's 2 podiums for 6 front rows is not really the return you'd be looking for. No,
he's been mugged a few times by various people, and that Nürburgring crash wasn't his fault, was it? Where he was
very valid, yeah.
It's a mistake. That probably should have been a win.
Yeah, you say as well, Tranter, who of course dominated season 1. He's not been doing so well in qualifying so far. In fact, 5th place is the highest he's positioned his car. But he's terrific on those opening laps when everyone else is a bit cautious on those cold tyres. He just seems to make up positions and, well, got the win last week from being so aggressive, like you say.
Yeah, no, that's true. It still surprises me that he's only got the 1 win this season, but that's how it rolls.
Yeah, I think he'd like to forget that Silverstone opening ground when he ran out of fuel as well, eh?
Oh yeah, that was a bit of a howler. So here we are then with the front 4 coming out of Hislop's chicane through Knickerbrook. Then the Knickerbrook is named Knickerbrook because a couple of workmen disturbed an amorous couple in the woods there, and they found a pair of ladies' knickers in the river where they were.
It's a terrific piece of trivia there, Crofty. Gareth, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's where the name comes from.
And do you know this amorous couple, or do you know her phone number by any chance?
I'll PM it to you afterwards.
Good man. Oh, we've got now an onboard of Winslade. There's a pink car of Kimberley, and Winslade's up on the inside again. It's the second time we've seen him do that. A lot of space given by Kimberley, but fair racing. Winslade now back up into 6th place, chasing down those front 5.
Nice clean pass, good respect shown by both the drivers there. That's great to see. And they are now off onto the start of lap 6. And look at that, Winslade running really wide out of T1.
He's screaming at his helmet screaming at his helmet, wishing he was another 11 seconds up the road, battling at the front like he was.
Yeah, replay at the start then. We're on board with Will Burnett. That's his teammate Mark Tranter on our right hand side in the black, orange and white car. And we are chasing down, that's James Garlick on our left hand side. He's through him.
Very clean racing, isn't it?
Well, yeah, Tranter just... I think he forced Winslade into the backing out of that one and looked straight to the outside of Miller. Incredible aggression shown there. And this is the replay of the crash then between the 2 verge of grips. Oof.
Yeah, almost took off, like we say. Didn't go into the tyres on the chicane, but went into the tyres of his teammate instead.
Yeah, and a replay of Richards just caught out by the slow moving Burnett there. after the accident.
You don't expect to find a car going at 5 miles an hour on that corner, do you?
No. Cutting back to live then, this is Kelly looking to the outside into Hislops. Miller having to lock up to avoid him. Great racing by all of these guys.
It's allowed Tranter to catch up. Of course, he was behind Winslade before Winslade's spin, but no, Tranter's just 7 tenths behind Miller, and it's turned into a front four once again.
Yeah. You can see these guys are fighting though, because Winslade, just glancing at the timing screens there, he's taken a second out of that deficit that he had. It was over 11 seconds before. But he's got 6 seconds to catch up to Garlick. He's now running.
Line going super defensive. We've almost got 3 drivers going into the final corner, and Miller goes wide.
Look at that.
Tranter's made his way through. That's quite. We said he was 7 tenths behind a second ago, and all of a sudden, up into 3rd place.
Brilliant move by Mark Tranter there into the final corner. And the fastest lap of the race to boot.
You see how that happened. And now
Kelly now attacking on the outside of Cascades. Forcing Line into the inside. And he's made his move.
Line doesn't have to look out for Kelly. He's got Tranter now on the outside.
Wow, this is an astonishing set of corners we're seeing right here. Look at that, Tranter's past Line. Oh, one wheel on the grass, nearly followed Winslade's crash there. Well, it's taken him 3 corners to do it, but he's done it. He's up into 2nd place. Line's fighting back though. Run to the chicane. It's definitely not too wide through there.
Line gives a lot of space there, and Tranter,
he had to back out of it.
Tranter might have a change of underwear after that sliding round. Oh wow, that was great. And you say he's taken 3 corners to take the overtake, but it's took about 6 corners to take 2 places. So that's a terrific lap from Tranter.
Yeah, that's an astonishing piece of driving. That's definitely going in our highlights reel at the end of the season.
Miller will just be scratching his head, wondering how the hell he's all of a sudden 4th place and a second behind the lead trio.
Yeah, he's got shuffled down, hasn't he?
So Kelly now just got his old adversary Tranter behind him, and we've seen Tranter taking Kelly on before, so it looks like we've got a repeat of season 1 from there. Oh, Tranter going hella wide there. Line's got an opportunity now to catch up on the start-finish straight. He goes to the outside as Tranter defends. I think Tranter might just have this corner. Yeah, Line backs out of the move.
You'd have to be a brave man to go around the outside of T1. I just can't see that really happening. It's not really an overtaking corner in my opinion. That sounded very my opinion, but anyway, here we are then. This is a replay then. That's Kelly on the outside, Line looking to the inside. So this is when Line retook the lead early on in the race. Great move.
I thought it would be the second pair of the chicanes that would be the big overtaking spot. We've seen several into the first.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that as well, actually. Yeah. So, Gavin Kelly in the lead of the race from Mark Tranter, David Line in 3rd, Rob Miller in 4th place. James Garlick is in 5th, about 5 seconds back from the leader. Winslade is now under 9 seconds back and only 4 or so seconds back from James Garlick. So we'll see what he can do from there. And then we got Kimberley running in 7th place with his controller. 8th is Gary Jones. 9th is Gary Richards. 10th is Ledge, and Will Burnett, after his crash in the first lap, is running in 11th place at the moment.
It's got the front 4, the familiar front 4, and it's not always the same 4 drivers at the front, but yeah, we've got these guys running within a second and a half of each other. It's so evenly matched, which kind of matches what we see when you look at the championship standings as well, which has just been terrific this year. Last season, season 1, we had a 2-horse race, which probably would have been a 1-horse race had Tranter joined from the off. But this season, Miller's way out in the lead, but it's not too out the question to think that Kelly, Line, Garlick, Tranter, and even Winslade Batty, of course, who's been missing races. You drop those races at the end of the season, and it could be anyone from 6 or 7 drivers.
Yeah, you're right. Good point. He's still catchable, isn't he? Miller in leading the championship. On board now with Tranter coming through the Shell Oils hairpin, and we're looking at Gavin Kelly's car in first place ahead of us. And you have to say this battle is definitely slowing his front four down, because they're not dropping Garlic, and then Winslade is closing in after his accident on lap 3, I think it was.
Yeah, you just I don't know what I'd prefer to be in this. If you got first place, obviously that's where you want to be, but then you've got 3 very good drivers breathing down your neck, and any single mistake that you make, as we've seen every single race this season, any single mistake you make gets jumped on immediately.
Yeah, it really does. We saw a lot of dust being kicked up by Kelly's car through Knickerbrook, because he's trying to shorten every single corner he possibly can and take as much runoff as he possibly can as he comes out of each corner.
It's a terrific camera we've got here right down on the ground, and you can see the slightly different lines that these drivers are taking. Not particularly beneficial so far, but the fact that these cars allow such different lines is allowing this brilliant racing we've been seeing in 6 races now, as Rob Miller takes a 51 flat.
That's very quick. So 1 lap ago, Mark Tranter was 8 tenths behind Gavin. He's now less than 2 tenths, and he's on the outside at Cascades. And Lyne's only 7 tenths off the front as well. So 3 cars within that gap that we had with 2 cars last lap.
Well, Tranter's now looking on the inside of Island Bend, which is not an overtaking spot, but not usually an overtaking spot, but...
Kelly's gone wide. Kelly's off the track.
Well, I shouldn't have said it, should I?
He's commentator's curse. Lovely banking on that corner. I really enjoyed that.
So is that 2 races in a row where Kelly has slipped out on a fast corner and ended up behind the battle?
Yeah, 130 Ireland dropped it in Suzuka, didn't he? But this is Line now attacking Tranter as we come down to Hislops. He's got the inside line.
But then it turns into the outside line for the second part of the chicane, and Tranter holds on to the lead. And Miller up to 3rd place after Kelly fell off the track.
Well, Line said he was worried about his racecraft, but there's nothing wrong with that move at all. That was nice ballsy stuff.
Yeah, I don't think Tranter of anybody here, as we've seen how many overtakes he's done on those early laps, is the one that needs to worry about any racecraft.
No, Tranter doesn't, but yeah, Line.
Line, sorry, yes.
So on the inside to the final corner, nothing doing that time.
Just got to wonder if people are just wanting to run away from that horrible face on the nose cone of the KCMT car, and that's possibly what's making people run away from Line.
Well, there's a blobby on the front of Kimberley's car, and Winslade's dropped him by 9 seconds, so
something in it.
Same thing going on there. So if these guys keep fighting, then I wonder if James Garlick will be able to close up on them then. He's currently running about 5 seconds behind.
He's been about that pace the entire race, which just makes me think that after those first few laps, maybe on the cold tyres, he wasn't as confident, maybe, I don't know, braking or cornering, and I don't know, since about lap 4 or 5, he seems to have maintained that 5 second gap on them, but that's partly because these 4 are battling so hard as well.
Yeah, but I'm looking at his times as well, and his best is a 52.2 and his last lap was a 52.2. So he's sort of consistently running that pace, whereas these guys have all done 51s, but then 52s and a 53 from Gavin when he ran wide. But 52s when they're fighting, so they are losing time from fighting.
But potentially not enough to close that delta.
Indeed, yeah.
Some very good insight there. Very good insight.
Cheers. Winslade 2 in the 51s, but a high 51 compared to the low 51s of the leaders.
We've got Line going on the outside, possibly as we make her way into Lodge and goes a bit too wide. Goes on the grass. That might allow Miller to make his way through. And Miller now into second place.
You called it. Transfer from Miller from line now. Kelly's back on the back of line now.
Yeah, Kelly somehow, unlike Winslade, who dropped back so far, has fallen out on a 130R-esque corner and somehow managed to stick into the battle for the lead still.
Yeah. Well, the difference obviously is that Winslade had to reverse out of the barrier, and Kelly was able to keep going roughly forwards, although he was off the track on the grass. So you don't lose quite so much time from doing that.
Are you telling me that reverse is slower than going forwards?
There's revelations every week on the Limit of Adhesion. Tune in for next week when we tell you that mirrors show you what's behind you.
Water is wet as well, eh?
Yeah. So it's the same four from Suzuka, are the same four leading the race this time out at Oulton Park, and it's Tranter from Miller, our same 1-2 from last week as well. Line running P3 as he finished last week, but we've still got 4 laps to go, so anything could happen still. Gavin Kelly currently running P4, and we can see Garlic in the back of shot here, so hopefully he can close and join in this fight. I mean, a 5-way would just be amazing to see, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be. I mean, the Suzuka, these guys just seem to run and hide a little bit more than they have this time, and yeah, you're right, 5 seconds. There's Miller trying to go up on the inside of Lodge now. Nothing doing this time. But yeah, these guys only 5 seconds ahead, and I mean, I'm just looking down as well, and Winslade now 3 seconds behind Garlic, so closing the gap. And it's a top 6 and a bottom 5 really. So top 6 covered by 8 seconds with only 4 laps remaining. It's doing pretty well for Limit of Adhesion, I'd say.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You're thinking Batty's not racing this week as well, still at the top of the mountain presumably, contemplating how not to hit your teammate, but he could very well be in this top half of the fight too.
Yeah, Batty needs to get back in the fight when we get to Oulton Park after our mid-season break, which is coming up next week. Yeah, we missed seeing him in the racing.
Yeah, he's a terrific racer. He's got his 2 second places. Probably could get a win this season. But yeah, that's all 3 of his missed races done now in this first half. So if he's a serious battle for the championship, as we've got Gavin Kelly now as a replay. Is this when he went wide?
Yeah.
No need to engage reverse. You're absolutely right. Well held on the grass.
Kept it pointing in the right direction. And look how close our front 4 are, all within a second of each other as they came into Lodge.
Just having a little look at previous results, and yeah, it might actually be, we've got Tranter leading the race at the moment, but he has had, well, for Tranter, a couple of bad results already this season and a missed race, so dropping those points compared to Miller, Line and Kelly, who have been ever present. Not saying they haven't had bad races either, but yeah, Tranter might be the one under pressure to perform this season, to be into the fight for the championship. But you've got the likes of Miller, who, I mean, if we dropped his worst results, he'd still be on the podium every single race.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I mean, assuming Batty comes back for that final 6 races, I'd say right now on our screen is our championship contenders plus Batty, and then everyone else is pretty much the fight for probably 4th, 5th, 6th in the championship, I guess. That's slightly pessimistic. It could all change in the next 6 races, but well, kind of doubt it. We'll see what happens though.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything. There's nothing negative to say or pessimistic about that. We've got honestly terrific drivers in this league, and we've seen what Line's been absolute menace on the front row. 3 pole positions, and for the races he didn't get pole position, he started second. So he's defending hard now from Kelly. But yeah, there's a reason these top four always are in the top four, or more or less are always in the top four. It's because they're bloody fast.
Yeah, they really are. And there's Kelly looking to the inside. Line shuts the door firmly into Lodge.
And all the while we're watching this, as we're going to 2 laps remaining, Garlic seems to have dropped back a little bit, and I don't know if that's from these guys going a bit faster or him falling back, but it's maybe into the clutches of Winslade, who's only a second and a half behind now as you look at the timing screens.
Well, that's getting close if Winslade's going to recover to P5. Should still be a disappointment for him after, like you said earlier, best qualifying of the season, P4.
I think it's...
take these guys wiping each other out for that podium, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that'd be very, very important then. But yeah, it's. I think if you could tell Winslade early in the season, you'll be fighting for 5th place, and be disappointed if you got it. You'd be quite happy at that.
Yeah, I think you would.
I've got a lock up there from Miller again.
Yeah, good spot.
Horrible.
Which one that was?
Yeah, the horrible corners. There's Winslade now in the battle. Absolutely ragging the car around the first of the 2 chicanes now, and going downhill into the Hislop chicane. So now you've got the target now in sight, 1.5 laps to make it happen. And yeah, just see there's an inch. You can see what I mean about taking a wheel off. He's very close to it, but he's smelling blood, I think.
Absolutely hurling the car at the corners there.
I needed to breathe in a little bit as we watch the onboard then.
Looking back from Mark Tranter's car then, Miller just probing every single second, and that is Line looking to the inside into Lodge as well.
Yeah, Tranter's soaked up a lot of pressure in this race. We saw others in the front in the lead. That's the last lap. Saw others in the lead give it up, and Tranter just has been relentless, hasn't he, this race, and not been fazed by those chasing him.
Contact! Oh no, that's Kelly round. Kelly round at the first corner. And stuck on the grass, and that's Garlic and Winslade through. Oh, what a disaster he's had.
It's 2 in a row now for Kelly. His late race mistakes, or late contact as it was there.
Yeah, late race drama for Gavin Kelly once again then, 2 races in a row, and he's fallen from attacking for 3rd all the way down to 6th place now.
Tranter going a bit sideways and then locking up into the hairpin corner. That's allowed Rob Miller to really catch up as we go into chicane number 1 now, but Tranter's managed to get away from the threat possibly, but shortly after Kelly going off, don't know if he's looking at his mirrors to see where Kelly had gone, he'd going a bit sideways as he made his way through Island Bend. Yeah,
I'd like to see a replay of that and see just what happened. It was nice to see the onboard of Winslade to show here we go, side by side into his slots. That's Garlic just getting on the grass as he got into the braking zone.
He's lucky there. He could have lost more than just 5th place. 4th place as it is. He could have lost out to Kelly if he'd been a bit more unlucky then.
Yeah. Now we're going to see a last corner.
Everyone on the grass now on this last lap.
Miller super committed there through Druids. I think that might have cost him for a last chance into Lodge. Sorry to cut you off, Jim. As we come out of the Lodge corner and over Deer Leap for the final time then, Mark Tranter wins for the 2nd time in a row, and it's his first. It's the win at Oulton Park from Rob Miller in 2nd place. Dave Lyne comes home in 3rd. Winslade recovers to 4th place after passing Garlic on the final lap and Kelly's unfortunate accident. Garlic comes home in 5th place. Well done, James. And then we've got Gavin Kelly coming home in 6th place. He must be so gutted. And here comes Jim Kimberley in the Alpha Blobby, coming home in 7th place. That's a decent haul of points for him. And it looks like we've... wow, super wide through T1 on his slowing down lap.
Yeah, don't want to fancy that on a PS4 controller, do you?
No. So, replay of this incident between Lyne and Kelly on the final lap. You see them squirming off.
was lucky not to lose a wheel. And I was going to say it was the slightest of contact to start with, and then all of a sudden it's flying through the air.
Yeah. Well, Lyne's natural line was always going to take him onto that curb. And this is a replay then coming out of the first chicane. This is on board with Winslade against Garlick as they run down to the Hislop chicane.
Gives them enough space. It looks like
it's all clean.
Yeah, Garlick just must have gone far too much to the left and not realising the width of his car.
Yeah. So, final race classification then. Mark Tranter picks up his second win in 2 races. Rob Miller comes home in second place and Dave Lyne picks up third place and is on the podium. Gareth Nico Hulkenberg Winslade comes home in fourth place from James Garlick. Gavin Kelly in sixth after his disappointment. It's Jim Kimberley with a great 7th place. Gary Jones comes home 8th. Richards and then Burnett in 10th. And Lawrence Aaron Jenkins, the Ledge, comes home in 11th place. Sad to see there from the Ledge.
Yeah, it was a hard-fought win, I'd say, for Tranter there. It was wasn't an easy one.
No. As we take a look at the Drivers' Championship, then Rob Miller consolidating his lead in the championship from David Lyne in second, Gavin Kelly in third. Very close between those two, though. Mark Tranter leaps up to fourth place. Garlick is in fifth, and it's very close between him and Winslade in fifth and sixth. Batty slips down to seventh place with his absence. William Bibby is in 8th, Richards in 9th and Paul Dixon in 10th.
Yeah, it's a big one there. I think I was just looking at the championship table and Tranter, yeah, he's saying he's a bit further behind, and you're absolutely right to say that, but he has missed a race, so I wonder where he'd be if he hadn't.
Yeah, true. Perhaps he takes through the team's championship.
Well, it's got really close now at the top with Stupid Aguri without Batty this week, of course, is in first place still, but Little and Large closing up, although they had one less teammate as well, with Rob Miller spearheading it. He's in second. KCMT are in third place now, and Williams and Verge of Grip really closing up with that win from Tranter. They're in fifth place. Dirty Legends are in sixth. Lucky Bibs in seventh, obviously not scoring points this week. And the Alpha Blobby single car team have got 8 points, not doing too badly there for a single entry.
No, that's true. Although obviously with Dixon joining the team, so you'll be getting, the Alpha Blobbies will be getting those points from his Okayama podium as well. So Jim Kimberley says he's happy with the progress of Alpha Blobby and another haul of points. Hopefully the planned handling upgrades coming from Stupid Aguri will continue to propel the car up the grid. Rob Miller a bit upset with himself for inviting Mark to race. Congratulations to Mark. And Dirty Winslade was devastated by his spin in Lakeside.
Yeah, you would be. He qualified so well as well.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, we're going to take a 1 week break after this race for the mid-season, and then we are going to Australia for Oulton Park. It will be our second figure 8 track of the season, and it's a very short but exciting track, very kart track reminiscent. Jim, perhaps you could tell us where we can find you on the internet.
Yeah, you can find more of my work on medium.com, where I write about F1 pretty seriously. Or you can look on YouTube for my satire series, The F1 Week That Was, or you can follow me on Instagram for a bit of both. You can search for Jim on F1 on any of those.
Thanks, Jim. And just a reminder that you can find our viewer survey at thelimitofadhesion.com. Please do take the time to go and fill it in for us. It would be really appreciated. Don't forget to like and subscribe our videos on YouTube. Come and find us at Facebook as well. Well, thank you very much for watching. Have a great week. See you next time.